to this. Okay, kindly implore them to join this session. All right. So basically, we are going to kickstart the session now. All right, we're going to kickstart the session now. My name is Abdullah Iyondaolo Musa, and here at Analytics Business, I am and the training and operations lead here at Analytics Business, as well as an AI automation engineer and instructor. Okay, so you're welcome to the Analytics Business. I stay in Lagos, by the way, for my Lagos people. I stay in Lagos, by the way. Okay, so and I would love to know where you are joining me from. All right, I would love to know where everyone is joining in from. So I've done a brief introduction about myself. Before I share my screen, that's the criteria. Okay, that's the criteria in this session, in my sessions, right? I always want to know my audiences. I want to know where everyone is calling in from. Okay, so you can tell me where you are from. Okay, tell me your name, what you do. Like I said, tell me your name, what you do, and where you are joining this session from. All right, so let's get the ball rolling, guys. Let's get the ball rolling, guys. Tell me where you're from, your name, what you do, and any fun thing you want to tell me too, though. For me, I like football, I like soccer, and I follow Arsenal FC. So if you're not an Arsenal fan, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I praise our here today to win the Premier League, though, by the way. I'm just kidding, guys. That's on a lighter note. All right, Bademola, HRBP, Lagos. All right, welcome, Bademola. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Okay, Boluwatife. Superb. I have Boluwatife on that end. Okay. All right, guys. I need more, 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 more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Okay. All right. So I need more, guys. I need more, 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 more. Okay, I can see comments pouring in. Okay. Some special names I need to shout out here tonight. Okay, James Mary from FCT, Oladeyinde Bakare from Lagos, Roma from Port Harcourt, CJ from Festac, Lagos. These are just like, say, 6 people. I still need more, guys, to show that you are with me in this session. I can see Halima. I can see a couple of other guys too. Okay, so I'm expecting responses from you guys. Okay, to tell me that yes, I am with you on this session. All right, I need more, more, more. Tell me what you do. Don't just tell me your name and where you're from. Tell me what you do. Okay, because with that, we are going to pick examples, like real-time examples to say, oh, Abdullah is an AI automation engineer. This is what he does, okay, and stuff like that. So it's going to be more and more interesting. All right, it's going to be more interesting. Okay, it's going to be more interesting. Okay, all right. So, I can see more responses now. I'm a teacher and also a poultry farmer. Bola, Senior National Sales Manager at Lagos. I'm Joanne. Joanne, you don't know where you don't want me to know where you're calling in from. Pious, Lagos software architect. Superb, superb. Chidi, you're from Lagos. Okay. John, who is a photographer. Chigoze from Port Harcourt. Wow, so I have I have a lot of people from I have a lot of people from all the parts of Nigeria. That's superb. Welcome to tonight's session. Welcome to tonight's session. It's going to be a very, very impactful one. So like I mentioned, guys, anybody that you know that's going to benefit from this session, okay, please do well to bring them into the session. Share the link to them, okay? Share the link with them, let them see and let them join. Okay? Don't hoard this bank of knowledge to yourself. Okay, don't keep this bank of knowledge to yourself, all right? So basically, don't keep this to yourself alone, all right? Don't keep this to yourself alone, guys. To be very honest, we want everybody, friends, families, to enjoy and get, proper function from this. Okay. All right. So we're going to be kicking off, okay, any moment from now, just to make sure that all hands are on deck. I have my colleagues on here that they are going to also be joining me in today's session. They are going to be joining me in today's session to also cover some very, very impactful parts of the whole structure for you guys. Okay, so if you want access to the materials that are going to be used in this session tonight, do well to fill in the form that's going to be pasted inside the chat box. Okay, do well to fill in the form that's going to be pasted inside the chat box. All right. So um basically that's going to help us out a lot. All right. So welcome to this masterclass once again, and we are kickstarting, all right, officially. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. All right. So guys, let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if everyone can see my screen. Can we all see my screen? Can we all see my screen, guys? Let me know if you can see my screen. I need a thumbs up. I need a thumbs up to show me that, yes, I can see your screen. I'm checking the chat at the moment. Okay, 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 okay. Superb, 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 superb. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. And let me just leave this here. And I'm going to begin the slideshow now. Okay, welcome to tonight's session, guys. Welcome to tonight's session. Tonight, we are going to be looking at a very, very crucial topic in tonight's session. As an AI automation engineer versus a software engineer, those are top guns those are two top guns in the market today. We want to look at what are the differences between this individual, and how can you, even as a normal person, how can you benefit from the development space? I'm not a software engineer, right? I'm an AI automation engineer, okay? And I've been benefiting a lot, up to the equivalent and even more than what a software engineer would attain in terms of skills, in terms of experience, and also in terms of pay at the end of the day, right? So these are very, very interesting topics that we want to cover tonight, okay? And want to, I want to show you guys how these things come to reality, okay? With verifiable sources and power-backed sources, okay? And power-backed sources. So like I said, if you miss any bit of this session and you want to capture it again, you want to cover a particular part of it again, all right? Kindly do well to fill in the form. My colleagues are in this session with me. Very, very fantastic guys. They are here to help you out with the form. Okay, so you can fill in the form and we can lock in that structure. We can get started with, getting the recordings and every other thing. So in this session tonight, apart from covering the topic, we're also looking at how can Analytics business help you, okay, get to that desired space. Okay, how can Analytics business support you as Africans to get to that space. Okay, so welcome to this session once again, right? For those of us that are just joining, and like I said, the form is in the chat box for us to fill in. So the topic we're looking at tonight is majorly a differentiation between AI automation engineer, who is an AI automation engineer, and who is a software engineer, right? So who is an automation engineer? Who is a software engineer? And we want to look at several things that depicts or mix them up. We're looking at experience, we're looking at the career advancement, and we're also looking at how are they demanded globally, okay, over the course of a year. We're just picking just a year, 2025 till now, right? The whole of 2025 till now, what has been the landscape? What has been the capture rate, okay, between these two individuals, and what has been the vibe behind every single one of them, okay? So nobody's going to tell me here that they don't know who a software engineer is. If people are still telling me that, oh, I don't know who an AI automation engineer is, yeah, I can still accept that. But for a software engineer, I mean, you're joining this session tonight literally because of them, right? So that's one, major structure too on that end. So it's not going to be super cool without mentioning the sponsor of this program tonight that we hold weekly, okay, this masterclass session, Analytics Business, okay, Analytics Business. So who are we? All right, we are a leading e-learning platform designed to help organizations across the world empower their teams with a wide array of professional development options, okay, with a wide array of professional development options. And we have access to top quality courses across different disciplines, okay? So Analytics Business addresses the continuous learning and the continuous development needs essential in today's fast-paced business environment, okay? So big ups to Analytics Business, okay? So just to confirm and just to, walk us through the whole structure, right? I would love to know who are those that are just hearing about Analytics Business for the first time. If you are just hearing about Analytics Business for the first time, let me see a 1 in the chat box. I'm not talking about, we have some very, very regular guys that join in, right? So let me see a 1 in the chat box if you are just hearing, if you are just joining a session of the Analytics Business for the first time. If you're a first timer, who knows? I can have a $2,000 gift for you. Bola is just joining us. Welcome, Bola. I can do special shout outs for free. So, guys, let me know. You're just joining us for the first time. Let me do a special shout out for you. Amos, God's time Chukudi, a very, very big welcome to you. Welcome to our session. Okay. Who else? Who else? Are these the only two people? So that means we are so popular. Wow. If you are just joining us for the first time, I would love to know you. I would love to know you. I would love to give you a special shout out, right? Bola, Amos, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Well, over 43 on this call, and we have just two people. So the remaining 40 knows the Analytics Business. Wow, this is superb. This is superb. Okay, Rhoda, superb. CJ, nice, 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 nice. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's just move ahead. Let's just move ahead. welcome, welcome for those that are just joining us, that just heard about the business, that just heard about us. Okay, you are welcome to our session. Okay, so tonight we are going to be discussing a very, very crucial matter. All right, a very, very crucial and cool one at that. Okay, so moving ahead. Who is speaking with you? Well, I gave a brief introduction about myself the other time. All right. I gave a brief introduction about myself the other time. So my name is Abdullah Iyondaolon Musa, and I am a top trained AI and automation specialist here at Analytics Business. Okay, here at Analytics Business. I have over 3 years in AI and automation and in the whole landscape being built as a business intelligence and software development, as a business intelligence, a data and a business analyst. Okay, 5 years covering all of those structure at large. Okay, so I've walked through the land of logistics, I've walked through the land of software development, guided teams, guided startups and communities, and helped them build smarter systems for growth. At the moment, I work at an intersection of just data analytics, process automation, and business strategy. And I help professionals like you, okay, and I help small businesses to leverage simple AI tool. Okay, simple like ABC AI tool. All right, in today's market. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on one of my active platforms. I'm looking to hop on IG. I'm not a very, very sweet guy on there, but where you want to see me most active is LinkedIn. Okay, you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. All right. So that is that about that basically. Okay. So welcome. And in today's session, you'll be able to see how people with zero experience are landing global remote jobs. Okay. And you are going to see the top five fastest growing AI powered careers for 2026. Okay. And also, you're going to see how AI multiplies your performance as a beginner. Okay. How AI multiplies your performance as a beginner. I think I showed one snippet the other time, but I'm not going to show it again until everybody answers my question. Okay. So guys, I before we kickstart, well, I want us to cover a very, very crucial part. It will not be good. It will not be very, very good not knowing what we even know about the roles that we mentioned today. Okay. What we even know about the roles that we mentioned today. Okay. So who can tell me who is a software engineer? What do we think a software engineer is? Do I have anybody? If anybody wants to speak, you can raise your hand or you can also use the chat box. You can also use the chat box, guys. If you want to speak, you can also you can raise your hand to speak, and you can also use the chat box. So guys, I need someone to tell me who is a software engineer. Who do we think a software engineer is? Okay. Who do we think a software engineer is? All right. Abiodun Blessing wants to speak. Okay. I've asked her to unmute. Hi, Blessing. You should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm actually a guy like you.
Oh, sorry.
No
Sorry
props, no
about that.
props. Yeah, no
Okay.
props. So, I think a software engineer is someone who is responsible for software development through
Okay.
coding. Uh, Basically, I think that's what they do. They give us different kinds of software that we are using through coding with different languages, JavaScript, uh,
Mhm.
something sharp, and so on and so forth. So I think that's what who they are.
He
Thank you.
said it's something sharp. What is something sharp? Is it a
They
soft
says
drink or what?
they said S sharp or something. You know what their language is.
It's C sharp. C
Yeah,
sharp.
yeah, C sharp. Yeah. So I think that's
Okay.
my idea. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Abiodun. Thank you very much for that. So basically, we also have some responses, some very, very cool responses. A design and build softwares, a professional who designs, develops, tests, and maintains software applications. Okay. All right. Software development, coding, debugging, etc. So I think Gideon, very, very correct. Okay. For Africans, when you even mention tech, I actually think, at large, the misconception or the myth that has gone around in today's market is that in today's tech structure is that software, when you mention tech, when you just mention tech, the straight thing that anybody thinks to is coding automatically. There is no intertwining. There's no differentiation. It's just there, right? The ideology is just there. But you need to revamp that ideology as Africans. When we mention tech, it is not just about software development or software testing or coding, right? Is the conceptual ideology. Thank you very much, Pius. Right? Is the conceptual ideology, like, that's what people think is the literal meaning, right? So that's what people think is the literal meaning, and that is not it, because we also have several areas of tech too. Okay, for a project manager, right, where would you say that person is? Okay. For a data analyst, where would you say that person is? For an automation engineer, where would you say that person is? Right? What else? What else? What else? For a virtual assistant, where would you say that person is? Right? For a technical executive assistant, where would you say that person is? Right? So these are areas where we want to cover and want to, first of all, scratch off everybody's mind. Okay, whenever they mention tech, it's not all about software engineering. When people also want to register for courses, right? To show us where it has eaten deep into our bone marrow. When you just want to register for a course, you hear, I hope I'm not coding, no. That is the whole structure. Or I hope I'm not, those are the conceptions that are on ground today. And it's not so, okay? It's not so. And we need to see at large how we can manage these expectations and how we can see these expectations at large. All right. So as normal human beings, software development is not the basis for tech. There are other parts. All right. You have the design part, you have the development part, and you have one that is just in between that uses small from this, small from that, small from this, small from that. Right. So that is that about that area. Okay. So now we want to look at it properly. We want to look at it properly. Okay. Who is a software engineer and who is an AI automation engineer? A software engineer is that professional that builds, that tests, and maintains software systems, okay, and applications. All right. And they typically require either a bachelor or also a software engineering and very, very strong. When I mean strong, I mean strong programming skills. Okay. Software engineers are not expected to be messed with. I was once running a professional certification with one of the popular institutions, right? And basically, my own structure took me over, my own learning phase took me over, say, 10 months at large. Okay, let's just cap it at 1 year, right? But my peers that went towards the software engineering part, right, they took over 2 years to wrap up their own structure. Right? It took over 2 years to wrap up, end to end, front end, back end, to become a full stack software engineer. So for those of us that do not even know that there are differences between software engineer, you are going to see front end engineer, the person that designs this interface. Then there is the back end software engineer too, that also designs the back end, everything that is going on at the back, right? So basically, these are the conceptions and what moves around. So these people typically they require a bachelor's in computer science. Okay. Typically, they require a bachelor's in computer science and software engineering and also strong programming skills before they can embark on their journey. And basically, we're also looking at the major structure for an AI automation engineer. Who is an AI automation engineer? An AI automation engineer is that person that focuses on designing, developing, and deploying automated systems and AI-enabled workflows. They make job more and more easier to work on in real time, and they complete structures in seconds. Okay, talk about businesses that need responses. Okay, for almost all of us here, I think we automatically got an email, right? That is automation. Okay, that's automation in play. All right. For most of us here, we filled in a form, we joined a community automatically. That's automation. All right. That's automation at large. Okay. Businesses are using it in real time to make sure that people are coming together, make sense out of their whole structure, and they are able to get things done faster. Okay, they are able to get things done faster. All right. So that's why I told you, if you want to see another beautiful automation, you need to fill in the form that is being dropped in the chat box, so you don't miss this material that I'm currently using at the moment, and the video, as well as other information that are going to be shared. My colleagues are dropping the forms now. Once you fill in the form, I'm very sure after this session, you get an automatic email with the video and also the material link, right? That's automation in play. Okay, for over 100 people, right? So you just fill in a form, and 100 people at the same time, they get their structures sorted out. Now, automation has moved at large in today's market, right? Now you have self-driving cars. That's automation. That's deep learning inside the structure. You have voice assistants in ChatGPT today. Well, ChatGPT is an AI automation product, right? That's an LLM, as a large language model, right, that we speak to today. The peers of ChatGPT are Google, Gemini, and the rest like that, right? We also have like major structures too. Okay. Um, voice assistants, your Siri is one that would basically pick up. All right, say, okay, what do you want? Hey, hi, what do you want? Tell me what you want. Oh, send a message to Mr. Abdullah Yondalo Musa. Tell him that I'm ready to join in the master class, and he's going to send it via WhatsApp, right? So these are all other structure. Okay, so I'd love to ask, what other voice agents do you know? What other voice assistants do you know? What other voice assistants do we all know? Guys, there are other voice assistants. Okay, they are very popular voice assistants. Alexa, thank you very much. Alexa, okay, that's one. Which other one can we think of? Which other one can we think of, guys? Which other one can we think of apart from Alexa? Is there any other one that we can think of? Just to show that, the company behind Alexa, who is making Alexa? Can someone tell us the company behind Alexa? Who are the owners of Alexa? We have Bixby. We have Bixby for Samsung. We have Siri, right? Now, Amazon, the Jeff Bezos guy, is the owner of Alexa, right? Look at the time Alexa has been, has been out there, right? Look at the time Alexa has been out there. A full home assistant, right? Look at the time Alexa has been out there, right? You have Google Assistant too. Now let me tell you guys a very, very funny stuff, right? We all know Tesla, right? How many of us know Tesla here? How many of us know Tesla here? If you know Tesla, let me see your thumbs up. Tesla, I don't want to move ahead. If you know Tesla, let me see your thumbs up. Nobody knows Tesla. Wow. 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 Okay. Ziva, the voice of Zenith Bank. Okay. All right. All right. So a couple of us know Tesla. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. A couple of us knows Tesla. Now, Tesla is owned by Elon Musk, right? The owner of Starlink, the owner of X, the owner of SpaceX. That man is a trillionaire in dollars. Put some respect on his name. Only in this world, though, not all the universe, right? So basically, the owner of Tesla, right, is the owner of Grok, right? Now, Tesla, in and of itself, the whole structure, if I tell you that Tesla is 50% artificial intelligence and automation, would you believe it? I know Elon Musk is a weirdo, right? I know Elon Musk is a weirdo, right? And I can also succinctly tell you that is reinstatement into X as a company, into Twitter then as a company, he fired a lot of guys. He fired a lot of people and replaced them with AI automation. Just for you to know the advancement of the whole structure. Now, if you notice, if you are a user of Twitter, which is now X, right? If you are a user of Twitter over time, you would notice that sometimes if you have not checked into your Twitter for a long time, once you check in, automatically you will get a message to verify yourself, right? Verify yourself that you are the one joining back on this device, right? You're going to get a verification link. It's going to log you out automatically and say verify yourself before you get in back, right? That's automation in its finest form, right? They are using automation for security. That is another part of it, right? Major aspects of it. Well, in Tesla itself as a company, right? We have the product of Tesla itself, the Tesla cars, right? The Tesla vehicles, okay? All of them are powered with AI. They can self-drive, they can move around, they can do a couple of things by themselves on the road, right? They can detect if something is going to happen and automatically weave on the road to say, oh, I don't want to scratch, I don't want to hit someone else, right? And move ahead. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. If you call in Tesla today and say, I want to buy a car, someone is going to reply to you, oh, what type of car do you want? How do you want it? What these are the recommendations you have, and so on and so forth, like that. That person you are speaking to is not human at all. Their customer service has been replaced by AI, voice agents, voice calling agents. All right. So these are powered. They would guide you from onboarding to sale. That is how, and that is the extent with which AI is taking over. All right. Software engineers in today's market too are going into what we call vibe coding, They are not doing, they are not vibe coding. They are not coding from scratch again. They let AI do the work. They pick it up from there, they debug it, and they move ahead, right? These are structures where they pick up things from. Okay, that is the career overview of both skill. Okay, now these are who AI and automation engineers are. Okay, so and they have skills. It's not limited to degree and so on and so forth like that. Okay, your skills include automation frameworks, scripting, APIs, and also machine learning and artificial intelligence tools. Okay, so you also have increasingly hybrid with AI engineering roles are due to the integration of generative AI tooling. Okay, a lot of companies have been able to integrate AI into their system to say, okay, how can things grow? How can things work? Okay, and so on and so forth like that. Okay, so moving ahead, we also have looking at the salary comparison. Okay, as you can see, these are all attached. Okay, these are all attached with links. Okay, these are all attached with links, verifiable sources. Okay, verifiable sources over time. Okay, verifiable sources over time. Okay, now we have software engineering salaries and also AI automation engineers salaries. Okay, these are their salary comparisons. All right, these are their salary comparisons. Okay, now the salary comparisons cover the United States median for software developers is to earn approximately 100,000 USD, over 100,000 USD per year. Okay, following the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, the United States median salary, okay, is within 100,000 plus, okay, per year for software developers. And looking at it from the AI engineer structure, after looking at the past year, the median is around 185,000 above per year. Okay, and some top firms often exceed 250,000 USD per year. This includes, workforce, the total pooling of, wad of money that is being put into innovation at large, right? That is being put into innovation at large. But globally, we're looking at a scale of 70,000 USD for the software developers and up to 95,000 USD for senior architects, AI engineers. Okay, and based off Glassdoor, we're looking within the range of 135, 165,000 USD per year. Okay, so basically, in summary, AI-centric roles, artificial intelligence-centric roles, artificial intelligence-centric roles. This is to mean that if you are working today and you attach AI to that job you are doing, you are a software engineer, you attach AI to it. You are a cybersecurity expert, you attach AI to it. You are a project manager, you attach AI to it. You are a data analyst, you attach AI to it. You are a project manager, you are a business analyst, you attach AI to it. Or you are just somebody and you just have the embodiment of AI in your whole structure. Maybe you are handling a traditional role. For every role that AI is being attached to it, automation, artificial intelligence are being attached to, okay, these roles often command higher ceilings. Okay, that's what I can say. They command higher ceilings at very, very large firms. Okay, because you are the hub for innovation. You are now the hub for innovation. That is where the world is facing now. Okay, people are no longer doing the manual job from ground again. People are no longer doing the manual job from ground again. Okay. I spoke with a data researcher recently, okay, someone that researches data, that goes to the market real time, that meets with people, gather data from people, do surveys and the likes like that. I asked him, do you still do surveys in today's market? He said no. Basically, they have been able to infuse AI into the whole structure. AI scrapes the data for them, they get it, they filter it, and they get their insight almost immediately. And they've been able to serve their firms 5 times faster than before. Because if you if you are to embark on gathering data, if you are very lost in Nigerians market, okay, if you are very familiar with Nigerians market, you are going to know, you would know that it is very much hard. We don't have our own database. We don't have our own database. Sorry to say, we don't have our own database. Our database is being controlled by the US. We don't have our own cloud structure. Although we have some of our service providers like Airtel, MTN trying to build like their own data structures to infuse Africa at large. I'm talking about Africa at large. Okay, I'm talking about Africa at large. Okay, so if they say they want to bomb one part of Nigeria today, they can easily bomb it because they have access to our data real time. But we don't have our own cloud structure, right? We don't have our own data lake. Okay, so it's really hard to gather data from the market in real time. Okay, you can trade gold, you can trade US dollars in today's market. We can't trade naira. We can't trade naira. It's very hard to gather our data, right? It's very hard to gather our data. We're going to be using dependencies from outside to now, try to find out our own. Okay, so these are structures, these are levels that we meet ourselves. Okay, these are levels that we meet ourselves. Okay, so I'm saying this at large to say that anybody that would be infusing AI into their own structure, AI into their own, you're a business analyst, you're a project manager, you're a product manager, you're a software engineer, right? Even as a software engineer, you are going to be commanding higher ceilings. Higher ceilings. We all know what the ceilings are. Oh, apologies. I don't know if all of us are Gen Zs here, but I think Gen Zs are now using POPs. So you are going to be commanding higher POPs, okay, in large firms, in companies. And you can do this from the comfort of your home. Remember that I said with the advent of AI, more hybrid roles are coming. More hybrid roles are coming. Okay, more hybrid, more remote roles are coming. Okay, let me tell you one interesting story, although it has been reversed back by Chowdeck. We all know Chowdeck, right? The food delivery company. There was one time they fired all their staffs. They left just 2 people to handle customer service, order gathering, and the likes like that. The major issue was that they didn't calculate how many people are we going to need that is going to be able to control our AI, voice assistants, and support channels to answer customers with their orders. That was where they got it wrong. They left just 2 people as big as how Chowdeck is. Okay, they fired, they should I say fired? I'm so sorry, but they laid off almost 90% of their customer service channels. Now they've reversed the case. They've hired more individuals to kind of handle more and more structures, right? But as at that time, I'm talking about Q3 2025, the third quarter, close to the third quarter of 2025, okay, they laid off a lot of staffs, right? Because of the advent of AI, right? They saw no need to hire customer service personnel that would answer just FAQs. Oh, I got the wrong order. okay, send us an image, and that's going to take like over days. Like it's just going to take time. And upon the testing and all of those things, they were able to see that recently they ran a Black Friday, market structure. Before, when there were people in the system, okay, they were able to only run around 25,000 orders in a day. I'm talking in our own market now. I'm not going to the United States market or any other place. Okay, I'm talking about our own market now. Okay, I'm talking about our own market now. We have the Black Friday structure that usually happens for companies like Jumia does, Child Deck does, Konga does, Black Friday deals, right? They did their Black Friday deals, say, a year ago. Okay, a year ago is now 2025. So 2 years ago, which was 2024, right? They did their Black Friday structure, and all through the Black Friday, period, they were able to only cover 25,000 orders. Okay, they were able to cover just 25,000 orders. Now, their target the last year, okay, which was 2025, their target for Black Friday 2025 was to cover just 50,000 orders. Was just to cover 50,000 orders for the Black Friday. Guys, let me tell you how much was covered between that 3-day period for their Black Friday structure. For that week, they even extended it to a week, right? They extended it to a week. For that week, Child Deck closed over 143,000 orders, crossing over 100 trillion naira in orders. With the inclusion of AI, they were able to assign products, they were able to assign orders automatically to riders and not wait for people to start processing it, because there were more processing times, people that will close their orders and all of those things. With the advent of automation, artificial intelligence inside of the system, they were able to push out structures really, really quick. Okay, and that is one thing they are using to beat their current competitor in the market, which is Glovo. Right? They are able to beat their current. You see how companies are utilizing these things to build faster. All right, they are able to use these things to build, they are able to use these things to move ahead at a very, very fast scale. Okay, at a very, very fast scale. They are not waiting for people to still be doing the manual job. Oh, I'm collecting as a business analyst, you are just writing documentations, you are just putting out tasks on your Trello, on your Jira, and all of those things. No, there are advent of AI. You can use ClickUp to automatically move tasks around, set it up, get the software developers ready on it, and they are marking, they are checklisting, and you can automatically send reports to your stakeholders, right? So these are how companies are moving very, very fast. They need people that are on the end that can control the AI structure, the vibe, the weight AI is bringing in. Okay, the weight AI is bringing in. There's a tool called Google AI Studio. This is what I'll be using to literally move around and close out on my discussion. There's a tool today called Google AI Studio. All right. And the technical director at Google for software engineering, she came out to Twitter one time to say there was a feature they wanted to build, just one feature they wanted to build in their system. Okay, they built Google AI Studio, right? But there was a feature they wanted to build inside of their own system. Okay, and it took them months and months and months to discover. They tested Google AI Studio to vibe code this tool out, to build or to run this tool out, to add that feature, or to just build something as simple as maybe a website, then add this feature to it for me. He said he did it under 4 minutes. It covered what took over in a month. We have 4 weeks, right? 4 months, that's over 16 weeks of work, 16 weeks of debugging. It took just 4 minutes to add that feature inside of what was being built. Okay, these are very, very much verifiable sources and what we can see in the landscape in today's market. Okay, and how companies are utilizing AI structures. Hence why you are seeing, oh, the salary are moving high. Okay, it's not to say that AI is going to come and take your job. No, but people, AI engineers, okay, people that would imbibe and infuse AI into their structure, okay, would have AI, based centric roles. They are going to get more salaries, right? This is going to skyrocket and move waves. Okay, so moving ahead, we have the career speed and the entry path. Okay, for a software engineer, their typical pathway is, oh, I get a bachelor's degree, or I learn, okay, I learn the skill first, then I'm trying to get a bachelor's degree to set myself up to space. Then I become a junior engineer, then a mid-senior engineer, then a leadership. They can also start afresh from the university with also internship routes. But for an AI automation engineer, you just build on the skill that you have. You don't really need any bachelor's degree streamlined to maybe computer science or any other area. Okay, you can build on the existing software skills that you have, all right, and use that to expand yourself. Okay, so basically, and in the market today, they are not looking for entry. You are not going to be getting an entry level role in AI structures, in AI engineering jobs. Okay, in AI based jobs, you are not going to be getting, and entry level is like an understatement. You are going to basically start from mid level to senior listings. That is how it moves. Okay, that is how it moves. So transitioning from your current role to AI automation accelerates your career progression if you gain some specialized artificial intelligence and machine learning skills. Okay, if you gain some very, very solid machine learning skills. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's see some other slides. Just a moment, guys. So what's the job demand and what's the job growth? Okay, so basically, there's a projected 15% to 17% growth in software engineering, okay, through to 2034. All right, that's the job demand, the job growth, how it is moving. Okay, but for AI and automation engineering, with the major advents in late 2024, AI job postings have grown over 74% year on year in 2025, with over 142,000 open AI roles. Okay, and the demand for AI engineers have surged by 100% increase. Okay, and automation engineer postings have gone up by 180%, outpacing the traditional quality assurance growth, careers, traditional, roles, and so on and so forth like that. So the major insight from this is that AI roles, automation roles are highly growth concentrated and competitive. Okay, are highly growth concentrated. Okay, so and you need people that are going to help you on this end. Okay, more openings than qualified applicants in some markets. Okay, so you need people that are going to guide you on structures like this. Okay, through areas like this. So we also mentioned, like we mentioned earlier on, the skill and education requirements. We also have some extra things to add, like the major structure on jobs that will grow, jobs that will decline, okay? Jobs that will grow, jobs that will decline between 2025 to 2030. So as you can see, okay, we're going to see that data and AI roles have been the ones that have been growing over time, end to end, okay? By the left-hand side of the image I have here, you are going to see AI and machine learning specialist, data warehousing specialist, data analyst, data scientist, and so on and so forth, like that. We also have, organization development specialists, people that specialize in AI in that area. So if you're a human resources professional, you can also have an edge with growth. Okay, you can have an edge with growth in artificial intelligence, adding it to what you have with human resources. Okay, as a business analyst, you're also on this table, organizational development skills. Specialist. We also have project managers. Okay, you are also on this table. All right. So data and AI at large, and also we have data and AI skills, like we mentioned, HR, and so on and so forth, like that. So what can you earn on a yearly basis based off Glassdoor's reports? Okay, as we mentioned the other time, and someone with an AI specialist can earn between 84,000 to 149,000 USD. Okay, but your pay trajectory is within that range. Okay, well, you can start out little by little. Oh, I earn 500 USD yearly. Sorry, monthly. Okay, I earn 500 USD monthly, and so on and so forth, like that, basically. Okay, so majorly, these are what we would be looking at. Okay, these are all we'll be looking at. So I don't know if anyone has any question for me before we move to the second phase of this session. Do I have any question? Anybody with any question for me? Like I mentioned, if you want the materials that are being used in this session tonight, if you want the materials that is being used in the session tonight, please kindly do well to fill in the form. My colleagues are all dropping the links to the form in the chat box, okay? So kindly do well to fill in the form, all right? Kindly do well to fill in the form. Do I have any questions? Okay, does an AI automation engineer necessarily need to learn Python? No, not necessarily, okay, but the basics, okay? The basics is going to get you ahead. Then you can use that AI automation that you have to also move ahead. You can use it to forge ahead. You don't really need to learn Python to the core, right? You don't need to learn, JavaScript to the core, right? So basically, that's the answer to that question. Okay, to that question. Any other question, guys? Any other question before we move to the second phase? I'll take one more question, one or two more questions. All right, one or two. Any more questions, guys? Are you with me, guys? Let me see a thumbs up. Let me see a thumbs up if people are with me. If people are with me, let me see a thumbs up. You can drop it in the chat box. You can drop it as we are. Can it apply in data science work? Yes, it can. Very, very much. Very, very, very much. Is workflow automation same? Well, as an AI automation engineer, right, you are going to be focusing on AI agents, how to build AI-powered structures that follow LLMs. So workflow automation is the smallest part of it. Workflow automation is just one small part of it. That's what has been established here in Africa. Workflow automation has been what have been established here in Africa. Okay, and one of the ways one can get super, super cool jobs. I'm speaking about gigs. Okay, I'm speaking about maybe Upwork gigs and the likes like that. But you are talking about actual roles, like an automation engineer for a company. Okay, workflow automation is just the baby of what it entails. Okay. Can an operations person start this? Does it involve coding? No, it does not involve coding at all. Okay, no, it does not involve coding at all. Let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you an example of a workflow. Let me see if I can show you an example of a workflow. I'm trying to see where that is gonna be. Okay. Trying to see an example of a workflow that I can show you. It's not coming up. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, these like a light example. Okay, this is like a light example. As you can see, there is no mode of coding here. All right. Okay. I'm just building something. Okay. I'm building a chatbot at the moment on company requirements. Okay. This is something that I'm building at the moment. Okay. This is a chatbot that will connect to Google Gemini and answer questions based off company structures and email messaging. Okay. Um, Let me just show you another one. Okay, let me show you another one. This is a KPI tracker automation. Something as simple as this. These are just simple workflows that are just on the way. Something light. Okay, so this is a voice agent, for example. There is no mode of coding here, right? There is no mode of coding here. This is a voice agent being built for Telegram. Okay, being built through Telegram. You on the user end, you're just going to be messaging it. You're just going to be messaging it. You don't know that this is the back end of everything. Nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy, right? It's just a voice agent, right? It's just a voice agent that is going to get your voice. You can send a voice note to it. It's going to transcribe it and answer you back, right? So these are several structures about that. This is a voice assistant agent, by the way. One of the last things that I'll just love to show you, light one, is a multi-agent. This is used for market research. This is used for market research. I see a lot of people painting my screen at the moment. Please don't paint my screen, oh, please. Okay. Please don't paint my screen. Okay, so this is a market research agent. All you just have to do in this type of agent, you see, there is no mode of coding here. There's no mode of coding at all here, right? So I'm an automation engineer, so this is how it is. Okay, it's not workflow automation. I'm not adding one tool and another tool. Well, maybe if I want to connect my Google Calendar to my Google Sheets, that's workflow automation, right? So basically, this would go into the web and do proper market research about the business for me. Okay, so this is a marketing agent. Okay, this is an operations agent. These agents are going into the market to search about, okay, this is the type of business. What would they need to do? How would they need to split their money in terms of marketing? How would they need to split their money in terms of finance? What amount are they going to need to run operations? Right? All you just have to do as a business owner, put in your details on the interface, and this runs, and it sends you a report to your Google Drive. It sends you a report to your Google Drive. All you just have to do is pick it up, read it. Nothing concerns you with all of this, right? But you, as a business analyst, you, as a researcher in your company, Okay, as a business person, you would need something like this. You would need something like this. And it's not going to be bad if you can create something as beautiful as this. Those are just the light things I'll just show you across my projects. This is a tool called N8N that is being used to create workflows. Nothing too crazy. These are WhatsApp task intake and reminders for a fashion business. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's just it, guys. That's just it, guys. I would love to just show you that, right? Because those are very, very cogent business details. Okay. So we have some questions here. A data analyst that registers for your AI automation and another data analyst that registers for generative AI. What differentiates their learning outcomes and the roles that they will be involved in going forward? Well, I think that would be expansive on the type of role that you want to go for. If you want to move ahead on your data analyst path, right? The generative AI for data analyst course is going to cover that part extensively for you. Okay. If you want to forge ahead, if you still want to move ahead, but if you are somebody that would love to do data analysis, you want to also explore other markets, you can also touch down on AI automation. Okay. So the learning outcomes, the structure, and everything of the learning is the same. It's just how you apply it by yourself that differentiates you. Okay, what AI tool does an HR professional needs to learn? Okay, so I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain that. What if one has no computer knowledge? How will such anyone fit in? Well, basically, so far so good. It's most of the structure that you are going to be handling is going to be drag and drop. Drag and drop. Like we mentioned, there is no coding structure in the whole interface, okay, that you are going to be handling. All right. There's no coding structure in the whole interface that you are going to be handling. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part of the yes, Rhoda, I see your question. Rhoda, I see your question. Okay, Rhoda, I see your question, and it's going to get answered now. All right, it's going to get answered now. All right, it's going to get answered now. Okay, it's going to get answered now. Just a moment, guys. All right, so it's going to get answered now. Okay, so let's just continue with the session and we're going to answer that now. All right, so moving ahead, moving in a very, very beautiful scale. Okay, moving in a very, very beautiful scale. Nothing too crazy. How can you get ahead as a professional? That's the next question now. How can you get ahead as a professional? How can I get ahead as a professional? Everybody is already talking about this. Everybody is already moving tables, shaking tables. Okay, right? So one of the major things is to focus on acquiring the skills and experience in the career that guarantees you a job. Okay, you have the skills, you also have the experience. It's going to guarantee you something very, very solid. Okay, it's going to guarantee you something very, very solid. Okay, so moving ahead, how can Tenalytics business help me? How can Tenalytics business help me as an individual? Okay, how can Tenalytics business help me as an individual? So basically, the analytics business, what we train people on is that apart from the skills, we also teach you how to package yourself. We have the employability package that we attach to our skills. Okay. So we have the employability package that we attach to our structure. Okay. So apart from teaching you the skills, what you have to know, what you have to learn. Okay. So we have the employability package that people work with, and we also train people on how to apply till they get that job. Okay, till they get that job. All right. So basically, apart from the skills, we train you. Oh, these are the things that you need to have, your optimization, and every other thing like that. So we have our employability package that we attach to also, because if you are learning the skill, how can you apply it in the current role that that you have? Okay, so basically you have your CV review and your revamp, your LinkedIn optimization, and you have your project portfolio, navigating the job market, interview preparation, job reference letter. So basically, these are things that we also have. Okay, you get a job, your employer is telling you, oh, you said you have learned about this skill. Okay, give us a reference letter from your associate company, right? We give that too. Interview preparation, we do that too, right? Everything comes once you embark and join the programs that we offer. Okay. We also have the weekly mentorship sessions, and we also show you areas that you can get jobs from Upwork, Fiverr, and other areas respectively. Okay, so that is that about that basically. So these are a few job boards that we walk people through at analytics business. Okay, these are a few job boards that we work people through at analytics business. Flex jobs, we work remotely, remote okay, Fiverr, Upwork, LinkedIn, we walk people through them and how you can make the best out of these areas respectively. Okay, and how can you make the best out of these areas respectively. Okay, we have some very, very good success stories. Okay, we have Abigail, who had an experience as a care worker and transitioned into one of our programs, and she is a business analyst at the moment at Edmonton, Canada. We also have Tony, who is a pharmacist that benefited from one of our programs and is working with the NHS, okay, National Health Service in the UK, full sponsorship, just 1 month after training with us, and so on and so forth, like that. Okay, so we have 5 core programs. We have 5 core programs that we train people on at the moment. Okay, we have 5 core programs that we train people on at the moment. Okay, one of the first ones, which is AI automation engineering. Okay, where we show people how to build LLM apps, AI agents, and so on and so forth, like that. Okay, so foundations of AI automation, you learn it, LLMs, how to build them, prompt engineering. Okay, you also learn these structures too, how you can build your LLM powered apps, how you can do workflow automation, and how you can deploy, how you can monetize. Okay, these are technologies that are going to be covered. Anything that I showed you just now, VAPI, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, Zapier, and so on and so forth, like that. Okay, you're going to be learning all of those things at large. Okay, voice generation models like 11 Labs, VAPI, Twilio, you're also going to be learning very, very much about them. Very, very much about them. We also have our generative AI for data analyst course. We have our generative AI for data analyst course, where we cover an HR analyst too. Okay, so for that person asking about HR analysis, okay, so we also offer generative AI for HR analysts. Okay, so if you're an HR person, if you're a data person, we train you. Apart from training you on the core data analysis skill, we also train you on generative AI for data analysis. Okay, we also train you on generative AI for data analysis. All right, so we train you across several areas. All right, Excel, Power BI, Fabric, Claude, Gemini, SQL, Data GPT, Julius AI, Zebra AI, and so on and so forth like that. Okay. So, and you also cover N8N too for these core areas, And lastly, we also offer generative AI for business analysts and also for project manager. If you're an operations person, okay, you can do the generative AI for business analysis course. Okay, for if you are on the end of operational excellence, okay, operational growth and excellence. I'm talking about project managers. I'm talking about supervisors now. Okay, you can take the generative AI for project manager course. Okay, so if you're a leader, if you're handling a group of team, okay, you can also take the generative AI for project manager course. Okay, under us basically. All of this with certification. You are going to get a certified, certificate that you can use to stand out and say, yes, I'm certified in this field. I'm a master in this field. Okay, so you're going to take the foundations where we train you on how to use Jira, ClickUp, Asana, and so on and so forth like that for you to make projects really, really fast to cover. Okay, and for all of our courses, we take them for 8 weeks, 8 weeks solid. Okay, that's 2 months. All right, with capstone project and live project showcase. Okay, basically attached with all of this, we also have our live classes happening Saturday and Sundays. Okay, for any of the courses that you get into, we have them running from Saturday and Sundays, live classes that run 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Sundays between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. All of this with a proper guarantee of live access to recording for a lifetime. Okay, so even though you are missing your classes, even though you are going to miss your class, okay, you can also access your class recordings, even if you won't. Okay, you can access your class recording at any day, anytime, at any moment. Okay, so that is that about that. So how can you start today? How can you start today, basically? Okay. And I want to implore you to join our next cohort starting by 10th of January 2026. Okay, our next cohort that is starting by January 2026. Okay, our next cohort starting by January 2026, where we are going to be covering, we have a special discount for everyone that is going to be joining us from this session tonight. Okay, that's going to be joining us from this session tonight. Okay, can join our next cohort from this end. Okay, so we have a discount that is running at the moment. Okay, and originally most of these courses are going for sorry guys, just a moment. Most of these courses are going for 200,000 naira. Can we all see my screen? Uh, just a moment, guys. I think I have an issue over here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm currently fixing that up, and I'll be back up in a moment. I'll be back up in a moment. I don't know. This is related to the. Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay. All right, kindly confirm you can see my screen. Can we all see my screen? Can we all see my screen? Please kindly confirm we can all see my screen, guys. All right, so like I was saying, right, we have our next cohort starting by 10th of January 2025. Okay. And you can still join that moving train today. Okay. You can join that moving train today. We have our full amount for the courses going originally for 200,000 naira. Okay. We have it going for 200,000 naira. But at the moment, we are offering a discounted amount of 100,000 naira for our AI automation course. Okay, we have it going for 100,000 naira for our AI automation course. And for any of our generative AI course, you're going to be paying 80,000 naira for it. Okay, these are massive 50% discounts and 60% discounts on our programs. Okay, massive 50% and massive 60% discounts on our programs. Okay, and you can also pay in two installments. That is the beautiful part of it. Okay, you can pay in two installments. For if you are joining our AI automation program, you can pay 50,000 naira today, and you can pay the remaining 50,000 naira 1 month into the program. Okay, you can pay the remaining 50,000 naira 1 month into the program. We also have for all other generative AI courses, you can pay 40,000 naira today and also balance the remaining 40,000 naira 1 month into the program as well. Okay, so this is the account number and the account details. Okay, and I'm also going to be opening the floor for questions from every other person that's going to be asking more questions in today. Um, you're having challenges understanding how to apply data on Google Form and Google Sheet so I can use for my trigger on my scenario. Well, that's an experience issue. That's an experience issue. So for you to have exclusive access to maybe me to help you out on something like that, you can check in and join in for any of our programs, right? So that is that about that basically. Okay. So guys, please kindly raise your hand if you have any question, you want to clarify anything. Okay, you want to clarify anything, any question, and what's not basically. Okay. Okay, Abiodun. Yes, please go ahead. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can unmute now.
All right. Thank you very much for this session. I'd just like to clarify, as an HR professional,
Yeah.
but that is interested also in AI automation engineer. So, what is your advice? You have generative AI
Yeah,
for
for
HR
HR
analyst,
professionals. Yeah, for HR analysts.
and then I'm also interested in AI automation engineer. This
Okay.
AI automation, does it cover what I'm going to learn under generative AI, or I need to learn the two? I want to understand.
Well, well, at large, right? So what the AI automation engineering course covers still. Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Abiodun?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, superb. So what the AI automation engineering course covers, right? It majorly covers, for professionals that even want to start things from scratch, basically. Okay, do not even have any direction or any outlining with any of the courses, maybe being a data analyst or an HR person as a business analyst, or maybe someone in operational excellence like project management, right? So majorly, what I would advise you to go for is to work with HR analysis, generative AI in HR analysis. That will guarantee you to have the knowledge in HR analysis and also have a bit of knowledge in automation at large, right? But one of the major things that also comes across, one thing that we do is to provide like adequate support. So if you are trying to kill two birds with one stone, yeah, you can take that decision and also kill two birds with one stone. And you can meet with instructors, you can speak to them to say, oh, I'm interested in AI automation engineering. Are there other things that I need to learn? And they can provide you with resources and stuff like that that will guide across the way. But if you want to get like extensive knowledge on HR analysis, like and so on and so forth, like that, and human resources professional, one thing that automation engineering course covers, or like supports you on is the ability to get into different fields, right? It's not role specific. Okay, it's not role specific like all other courses, but for you as an HR professional looking to continue your career in human resources and also a bit into automation and all of those things, I would say you should run through generative AI for um for what's it called? Um Human resources analyst. Okay. Did you
All
get
right.
that? Mhm.
Yeah, I get that. Thank you very much.
Okay, 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 okay. Which program do you advise a person in sales to go? Automation or generative? For you in sales, you can walk through the generative AI for business analyst. Okay, you can walk through the generative AI for business analyst. The generative AI for business analyst. Valerie said, are there other live classes? The live classes that we have are also included with our technical support sessions. Once you get into any of the programs, we have what we call check-in sessions, technical support sessions that happens on Tuesday and also on Thursday, right? We also have guidance and mentorship sessions on Thursday where we bring in professionals to train you on your employability skills. Okay. This is Upwork. This is how you can get jobs on there. This is LinkedIn. This is how you can get jobs on there, and so on and so forth, basically. EE, basically, you can pay in 25,000 naira now, and you can also before you start the program, you can balance the remaining 25,000 naira. Then you can pay in the 50,000 naira at the end of 1 month. That is a very, very fair structure that you can work with, right? You can pay in 25,000 naira now, then you can pay in 25,000 naira before the program starts, and 50,000 naira. You can also speak to me or the sales guys um, to also guide you on further steps ahead. Okay. The payment links are already attached the in the in the in the chat. Okay. So Abiodun, when are you looking to which of the courses have you locked your mind on? Are we still on AI automation, or are we now on generative AI?
Seriously, I'm confused.
Oh, really?
I'm
So let's
confused.
let's let's discuss. Let's discuss, right? Let's discuss, right? Are you looking to still expand your career? So everything
Of
is
course,
still
of
okay.
course, my
Okay.
challenge is somebody like me. I love to take my knowledge from the scratch.
Exactly.
You understand? I
Exactly.
love to take it. I love to take it from the scratch. I'm feeling as if I'm going to jump a whole lot of things coming to generative
Generative AI.
AI
Okay.
for HR
Well,
analysts.
well, you are not, it's not expected for you to get afraid because, well, ideally, we train from scratch. Okay. We train every tool that we train people on. Okay. What I'm saying is that it is career specific.
Yes,
Okay, career specific. So
I
that's what
agree
I'm
with you.
just saying, right? But every other process that you are going to get to learn would also get to start from scratch. So if that's what you are looking at, okay, we can lock our minds on AI automation engineering and we can kick things off. But what do you say, Abiodun?
That's why I said I'm confused. You know, it's still money. I'll pay this, and time too. What I will do is I may need to go for this, the one for HR. And then since
Okay.
you are there, I'll just hold you by your trouser. So that's
No problem. That's a very smart move. That's a
so
very
that
smart move, Abiodun.
so,
That's a very, very smart move. Okay. That's a very, very smart move. Um, Rhoda, well, I explained the salary projections the other time, okay? For any individual, okay, for any AI specialist, okay? AI specialist is not just looking into automation engineering, all right? I explained the salary projections the other time. So it applies to everybody, okay? It applies to everybody. Salary projections can start from as low as 60,000 USD per year upward, okay, depending on where you start from. Well, the story might not be as good as sweet as it is for everybody, but you can start from somewhere very, very feasible. All right. So somewhere very, very feasible. Well, for a professional in today's market, you earn between 3 million naira to you earn between 3 million naira to 5 million naira per month, and you move ahead from that scale upward, right? So that is how it is. And from for the least, you can start from maybe 1.5 million naira per month. I'm talking about salary ranges, please, not the price for maybe a course or something. I'm talking about salary ranges, okay? So you can start from as low as 1.5 million naira upward. Okay. So basically, that is just how it is. Okay. Valerie, can you unmute and speak? You said you're a bit confused. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, hi. How are you doing? I hope you're good.
Hi. I think just like getting again.
Oh, wow. I think are you using a mic or a headset or an AirPod? You might want to disconnect that so I hear you very, very clear. Can we try that again? Hi, Valerie. Good evening.
You should be able to hear me now, right?
Superb, like very, very well. Your voice is crystal clear. I never knew your voice would be clear as this. It was sounding it was sounding as though you were speaking in the pillow,
Oh
something
my
like
God.
that.
Sorry about that.
That's
Okay,
fair.
so like Bjorn had mentioned, coming from an HR and operations. So in my organization, I handle HR operations. In
Superb.
fact, somebody is coming to join us, and the person was already talking about building agents,
Wow.
LLM, and all of
Wow.
that, also in HR. So I'm caught in between, like he has also mentioned, going for the generative AI or to do the AI automation, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Also,
yeah.
business analyst is because I sit in a
Operations
managerial
purview.
position. Yes. So it's like three. Is there something that works for the three? I also manage projects. So it's a lot apart from data analyst.
So you even do everything. Let's just cap it
Yeah.
at that.
Yes. So is there
And you
like
don't want to
a
and you don't
then
want to buy all the five at once.
okay, so buying them, are you which one should come first? Which one would come first? Well, which one is like the basic,
Yeah.
considering that we are not technical, quotes and unquotes, we are more in the administrative and operational aspects. That's one. Secondly, the the live classes will not work for me because that same time is when I also have another class, the same
Okay.
10 a.m. and that's a year program. So it's not,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was asking, are there other live classes? And I'm
Okay,
not sure that
okay.
I want to attend. I have an issue. If it's not live, a recorded session doesn't hit it for me. There's always going to be something,
Yeah, there
calling
are
for
questions you want to
attention.
ask and the likes like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get that a lot. So what can work? I'm going to start from that back end because you know we are interested in the course, but the workflow of the classes is where the issue is, right? So we need to even clarify that before we even lock in our interest for, oh, this is one we want to go for and the likes like that. So you're very, very much correct. Everybody has their own different schedule and what works best for everybody. So one of the best things that we do, okay, the company is one that has very, very proper structure. Okay. We don't do our classes via WhatsApp. Okay. It's not that level that we are. All right. So it's a very, very aligned one. Okay, so the way we take things are if our students are not able to come to the live class to take live classes, okay, we also have the recorded, versions for them. Now, as a student, I watch the recorded versions, I have some questions and the likes like that. The next person you are able to connect with is either your class coordinator or your instructor, which is the main man in the business, okay? Your instructors are always available for you to hop on a 10 minutes, a 20 minutes call to help you clarify some explanations, to help you clarify your questions and move ahead on other things. Okay. So these are structures that can be attained, during break times during the day. Probably once you have break during the day, you can always schedule a call, with your instructor to say, oh, after watching the recorded session, I have ABCD questions. This was what I encountered when I wanted to build this workflow. These were the issues that I built, and so on. And this was the issues that I encountered. So how do I navigate them? How do I go from here? What do I do from here? Right. So that the individual that will be coming in for you would be able to tackle those questions professionally and help you get them resolved. Okay. Another session that you can leverage is the technical support session, like I said, on Tuesdays. And it happens during the later part of the day between 8:30 to 9:30. Okay, where you can come in, everybody comes in, discuss at large on specific topics, specific structures, right? So that's it about that, Valerie. That's for your second question. I hope you got that clearly. Oops. Hi, Valerie. Are you there? I hope you got that.
I did, but I also mentioned that I don't really like recorded sessions because I'm always distracted.
Yeah. I thought I already explained that you can always link up with your instructor to
Mhm.
clarify structures. Yeah. So that's that about that. Okay. So basically that's to clarify about that area. Other parts of your questions are covering, oh, which one would be best to take first, right? Which one would be best to take first and the likes like that. So, and based off the experience of what you mentioned at the workspace, what needs to be built and the likes like that. Yeah, automation engineering sounds very, very superb as a very good space to start from. Then we now also see, okay, what other areas do I need to attach to say, okay, what do I need to build, and so on and so forth, like that, basically.
So you're saying I should start from AI automation, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Guys, if you have, yes, all the sessions, Victor, all the sessions are recorded. All the sessions are recorded. All the sessions are recorded, right? All the sessions are recorded. So, guys, if you want to make your payment, if you want to lock in, you can lock your payment in tonight. Okay? You
What's
can
the
lock it.
minimum amount for locking the payment tonight?
Uh Basically these are the prices on the screen, right? So someone mentioned the other time that, oh,
Yeah,
I
this
have
is January.
25.
This is January. Some people are just looking forward to like third week so that they can get their pay. Is it possible
God bless
that we
you.
have we have something that accommodates it?
That's
Nobody has. I would say nobody because I know that
Valerie,
some
God
people here are
bless
rich.
you. God bless
Amen.
you.
Some people here are rich, but I'm
exactly.
not sure somebody has I'm not sure anybody has a budget for this at the moment. So everybody's just trying to survive to third week, fourth week to get their pay.
Well, 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 this one that you're generalizing everybody.
No, I
I'll
said
say
this.
not.
I said some people are rich here, but I'm only speaking. And somebody has always supported me to say God bless me. So I'm speaking the mind of God. Is
Okay,
there
just the
something
two of
that we
you.
can, is there an arrangement to say, oh, we are making some sort of commitment to say, oh, by the end of the month, we are going to do this at the same rate?
All right,
Maybe
so
case
so
of, yeah.
so with that in mind, okay, it's going to be best to discuss with the sales team. Okay, they'll be in the best position to properly outline a payment structure that's going to look very, very nice and palatable to work with, right? While you also lock in your pricing. Okay, so the phone number is on the screen. Sorry, the phone number is in the chat box that you can message to say, oh, hi guys, I really love joining one of these courses, and these are the stages I am, these are what I want to do, and what are the payment solutions that are available for me, right, outside of this structure. So that's going to help out better. Okay. So Chidi said, I have two questions. First, for AI automation engineering, does it require any prerequisite background skills and knowledge? To answer that question, no, please. Can someone switching careers go for it? Like I mentioned earlier on in the beginning, also you guys are going to get the slides for this. Okay, if you fill in the form in the chat box, okay, you're going to get the slides for this. Um, does it require any prerequisite background skills or knowledge? No, you don't need any prerequisite. It's not like the, the software engineering role that you have to get maybe a computer science degree or a software engineering degree before you can continue on that path, right? Can someone switching career go for it? Very, very well, right? Secondly, for the generative AI for data analyst, do you need to be a data analyst, or you be starting from scratch with data analyst and in addition to the AI aspect? Well, most of the other courses are more streamlined towards the career path, but we train from scratch. That means for the basic tool that you are going to even learn itself, okay, you are going to learn it from scratch. You are going to learn them from scratch. So that's how it is, Chidi. Okay. In addition with the AI aspect, okay. So how about a guarantee after learning the course you would have a job? Well, you didn't write your name, but what I can see here is Techno KM5, and I know your name is not Techno KM5, but that's what I can see there, right? So to answer your question, how about a guarantee after learning the course you get a job? Okay, basically, okay, Victor Hogan. All right, that's superb. That's superb. Okay, Victor, I hope you're good. Um, sorry, just a moment. Yeah, I hope you're good, Victor. All right. So basically, for your question, we have the employability package, okay, where we train you on how you can get, your how you can optimize places where you need to put yourself out, okay? How you can build your portfolio, okay, with jobs to wow your employers and so on and so forth like that. How you can find clients, right? So our employability package sets you up for success. You are the one that now does the whole structure. So with regards to job placement, we don't do job placements. We give you the employability package, everything you need to have, okay, that would guarantee you success in that particular field. Either you want to go the freelancing path, either you want to go the structural path of, say, I want to have an agency, or you want to do a full-time structure, okay? We are all going to give you everything you need, okay, that you would, and all of those things will be covered in your guidance and mentorship sessions. All right. So that is how that is basically. Okay, we show you how to get the jobs. You shoot your shot. We don't shoot it for you. Okay, so basically that's just how it is. And the best, the thing that relies that makes sure that we guarantee you the best thing is that you can always come back to us for interview preparation. I have an interview with a foreign client. How do we speak to them? How do we do this? How do we do that? And so on and so forth like that. Okay. And also, you also have what we call the job reference letters. Okay. If your employer is saying, oh, bring a reference letter from where you said you learned, you did projects, you did stuff on AI automation engineering or maybe any of the generative AI courses, yeah. So you can also always come back to us. Apart from the fact that your certificate is going to be a certified one, right? Apart from the fact that your certificate is going to be a certified one, basically. Okay. So one of the major things that's that about about that. Well, yeah, like I mentioned, Victor, you can always discuss, okay, with the sales guys, right? The number is going to be well active on the so conversations can happen. Guys, you can speak to us, okay? You can speak to us, all right? You can speak to us, you can converse with the guys in the sales structure, okay? So basically, these are what we have in store. Do I have more questions, guys? Do I have more questions, guys? So one of the facts is that, after January 10th, our prices are returning back to normal, right? The prices are returning back to normal. So you want to see how you can take charge of this now, right? So these are the major structures at the moment, right? So do I have any more question, any more clarity that I need to do before we call it a night? Any more? Any more? I'm just checking. Probably hope I did not skip any question. Okay. Hope I did not. Hope I didn't skip any of the question. Just looking at it. Just looking at it at large. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Um, Basically, thank you very much for joining the session tonight, and we are going to be closing out on the whole structure, basically, okay? On the whole structure, right? So let's see how we can speak with those of us that are having concern, right? Let's see how we can. There's a number attached to the chat. Let's see how we can speak with the sales guys, right? Let's see how we can speak with the sales guys. Okay. Let's see how we can speak with the sales guys. So, guys, um, this is that, right? So that's basically it. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And we're going to call it a night here. If hopefully I don't skip any question, right? Just checking through on here.
Like it was a peculiar issue you wanted us to really discuss about. Since you said she is
Sorry? Okay, okay, Valerie, I think you're unmuted. All right. Okay. All right, guys, thank you very much, everybody. And we're going to call it a night here. Thank you very much for joining this session. It was a very, very fantastic one. It wouldn't have been one bit without you guys, right? Thank you very much, guys, for coming to this session. And I wish us all a very, very safe night rest. And let's do well to have a great night ahead. Cheers, guys.